The bus had been on the road for so long that time no longer felt real. Dawn had melted into afternoon, and afternoon into a tired gray evening. Passengers shifted in their seats, lulled by the hum of the engine and the endless ribbon of highway stretching through scrubland and distant hills. Amina pressed her forehead to the cool glass of the window. She was traveling home for the first time in 6 years, carrying a small suitcase and a heart heavy with unspoken apologies. Every mile felt like a quiet rehearsal for what she would say when she arrived, what she would say to her mother, to the brother she had left behind. The driver announced they would reach the border town by midnight. A few passengers smiled with relief. Someone cracked open a bag of roasted peanuts. Life, stubborn and ordinary, continued inside the bus. Then the road shuddered. It was subtle at first, a tremor beneath the tires, like the earth clearing its throat. The bus slowed. Outside, the hills seemed to ripple, dust lifting into the air in strange, spiraling patterns. The tremor grew into a violent shake, throwing passengers against one another. Luggage tumbled from overhead racks. A child screamed. "Everyone stay seated," the driver shouted, fighting the wheel. The ground split open ahead of them with a sound like thunder tearing in half. The road collapsed, folding inward as if swallowed by an unseen mouth. The driver slammed the brakes. The bus skidded, tires screaming, stopping only a few meters from the edge of the chasm. Silence followed, thick, stunned silence broken only by crying and the hiss of the engine. Amina's hands were shaking. She tasted dust and fear. Through the cracked windshield, she saw the highway she had trusted reduced to rubble, the long journey ahead erased in a single, merciless moment. The disaster was not finished. From the hills came the roar of falling rock. A landslide poured down like a living thing, blocking the road behind them. They were trapped, cut off in both directions, night closing in fast. Panic spread quickly. Phones were raised, but there was no signal. An elderly man clutched his chest, breathing shallowly. A mother wrapped her arms around her son, whispering prayers. The driver stepped outside, surveying the damage with hollow eyes. Amina surprised herself by standing up. "Does anyone have water?" she asked, her voice trembling but loud enough to carry. Hands lifted. Bottles were passed forward. Someone had a first aid kit. Another passenger knew how to calm a panic attack. Slowly, instinctively, strangers became a fragile community. They helped the elderly man breathe steadily. They shared food. They wrapped scarves around those shivering in the cold night air. When fear threatened to overwhelm them, they talked about where they were going, who they were hoping to see, what waited at the end of their interrupted journeys. Hours later, rescue lights appeared on the distant ridge, blinking like cautious stars. The road would take weeks to repair, they were told. Their journey would not continue as planned. As Amina climbed into a rescue truck, she looked back at the bus, silent now, stranded at the edge of broken earth. The disaster had stolen time, comfort, certainty. But it had also stripped everything down to what mattered: breath, kindness, the will to keep moving forward, even when the path vanished. Her journey home would take longer. It would be harder. But it was no longer interrupted. It was transformed.